Ladies and gentlemen, we just got out of watching a 3-hour or near 3-hour movie.
250, 245?
Yeah, on IMAX, and the whole movie was shot with IMAX cameras. Holy crap.
VistaVision, second one since 1961.
That is crazy, and I'm a sucker for IMAX. So if a movie's shot with complete IMAX cameras the entire time, that means the expanded IMAX ratio. You should watch it on IMAX.
Projected in 70 millimeter. We got to see a 70 millimeter print on film here at IMAX headquarters. Stunning.
The movie we watched, by the way, is P.T. Anderson, DiCaprio's new movie, One Battle After Another. Hey, Coy.
Hey, Greg.
How would you describe the plot of this movie? Go for it, buddy.
I would describe this film as a commentary on revolution and the individuals on both sides of said revolution. I would say it's a movie about fatherhood. It's a movie about legacy. It's a movie about the inherent violent nature of mankind. It's a movie about what it is to try to survive in a certain territory you feel entitled to. It is a movie about the guilt that your legacy carries, and it's a movie about the inherent violence of trying to have territory. It's about possessing like a joie de vivre from both sides. Everyone has an entitlement to what they think is to live, and it captures the two sides of a very specific revolution that feels terrifyingly topical.
Yeah, that's like the themes of what it's about. But I guess the plot of the movie, the actual plot of the movie would be about how DiCaprio is like was part of a big revolution way back when, and now he's got a daughter, and now the things that he's done in the past have come to catch up with him as a bad guy played by Sean. What's his name?
Penn.
Sean Penn. Somebody Sean Penn is hunting them down, leading to a crazy action adventure movie with a nonstop political backdrop and strange independent comedy humor. That was the craziest thing about this experience. They let P.T. Anderson make a movie that is fully an independent action comedy.
I laughed more in this than I think most things this year.
And it's like not the whole theater wasn't laughing. Like it's a very like strange film right from the jump. The movie kind of asks you like, hey, if you're not on board for the first 10 minutes, you might not be on board for the rest of the experience. That being said, I do think it is a movie that even though it starts off gripping and entrancing, it actually just continuously gets better and more engrossing. And I think P.T. Anderson really does a great demonstration of master of anxiety and tension in these very extended sequences with this bombastic music cues throughout the entire time. This is like an assault on the senses.
It is a movie that really challenges the viewer from the very beginning. I think the first act challenges you with like whether or not this is for you. Like Greg said, you really got to kind of strap into the assault of subject matter and of the senses and of what it is they're trying to translate in a way that is largely darkly humorous. Like, I don't know if I would have enjoyed this if I didn't get that release of laughter. Like, there are so many moments where you're just like, okay, I need to laugh. Like, I'm in so much like anxiety and pain for these characters, and the humor is not ever like slapstick. It's always coming from a place of darkness. Like, there are, a few moments like your Wolf of Wall Street, like sight gag stuff, but overall the laughs come from the darkest possible place, and I don't think it will be for everyone, but those it's for will know quickly, and then they're gonna have a great time, because then the second act really ratchets up the action, and the third act is like a Coen Brothers film. It really has like this incredible Tarantino dialogue at like 10%, 40% Coen Brothers tone and action mixed with PTA's incredible ability to direct actors and mise-en-scène. Like the visuals are stunning, but if you don't like the themes and the subject matter, this movie is not going to ever get you, and it asks a lot of you from the jump.
I mean, the movie does adopt a point of view. Like I was here going, okay, is this going to be? It's like I've been saying like I think my favorite movie of the year is a very divisive movie of the year. It's called Eddington, and I would actually kind of put this movie in a similar camp. This movie is a weird, dark comedy political satire that also is an action movie at the same time. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I would describe Eddington. That's how I would describe this movie. And this movie definitely does adopt like a specific type of point of view. But at the same time, I feel like even if you're not, it never like explicitly says like left or alt-right or something to that degree.
Do you believe in people's rights?
Yeah, but so
then
like,
you will like this movie. If you don't,
it's tough to talk about the movie. one of the most politically charged thematic experiences without feeling like, hey, maybe how do you play? There's no way to really play it safe. It really takes a side here, and I'm on board for the side that it's taking. All right, I'm just gonna fucking say that.
I'm like, this won't be for a lot of people. And it is a movie that is very charged with right now. We were talking to Brandon right before this.
This deals with like immigration, heavily.
I don't know that this movie would have been as topical a year ago or 2 years ago, and he's been writing this for 20 years, which means PTA has seen what he wanted to make, and it's only become more and more prevalent in its subject matter. This felt so jarring to watch.
Yet the year's never really specified when it takes place, and I'm watching this going like, this could take place between like 2010 to now.
The cars are very vague. Like, they do a really good job keeping it abstract enough, and the settings all don't feel like it has to be a certain time. But I think the subject matter is terrifyingly more and more prevalent with how the action goes through it.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't feel like you actually have to be super knowledgeable about the political landscape or exactly what this movie's really, using as because in a lot of ways you can kind of just treat it like the coolest backdrop ever, because the movie is a really straightforward, taut, tense thriller where even if you don't know these subject matters, you will probably just get reeled in to the intensity of the characters and the situation they're in. I love this. It dawned on me, this is like the third DiCaprio performance in a row of a guy who's like subjects himself to drinking, is not the sharpest tool in the shed anymore. He's kind of like on a degradation path, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah. Now this, like he's taking Wolf of Wall Street, who's still like top dog and sharp.
But he devolves in the movie into this.
People have taken Jordan Belfort to be some like strange inspiration in life, where these last three characters
Those people won't like this movie.
No. I mean, like I thought DiCaprio in this film is brilliant. Every moment he is on screen, even though this guy is not like typical leading man type of character, it really does remind you why DiCaprio is such a great leading man.
He's a movie star in this.
He really is.
He is doing things that are so unremarkable remarkably, and then when things get remarkable, you're like, what? You're so enamored. He's such a presence on screen, and this movie really shoots like there are shots of people's pores. Like this movie is very closely framed, and that doesn't work unless you've got Benicio del Toro, Leo, unless you've got like Sean Penn, who I don't even want to praise, but it's praising from a place of acting, like not the character, because this is so despicable and such a vile.
Hell, God.
But the performance to make you hate him this much is incredible.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, Reject Nation. It's time for me to tell you that if you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. I've joined this family. No contracts, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. That's why I have finally converted to the thing I kept hearing about, the Mint Mobile, today's video sponsor. With Mint, you get premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And it runs on the nation's largest 5G network. I kept my same phone, same number, same contacts, and I just started saving money. The service, honestly, they're pretty great. I sometimes travel. I work long days here. Oftentimes have to shoot content on the go, and I've never felt like I downgraded. If you're like me, and you're tired of jaw-dropping wireless bills, maybe it's time to make the switch like I did, like we all have. So if you're ready to say yes to saying no, make the switch to mintmobile.com/rejects. That's mintmobile.com/rejects. Link in the description box and pinned comment. Oh, and I should probably say this because we're dealing with financial stuff. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fee extra. See Mint Mobile for more details. Thanks, Mint Mobile, for finally reeling me in and helping me save.
He is a disgusting character and a force that you really want to see get taken down. And if you know P.T. Anderson, you know the movie's never really going to go in the direction you ever expect.
Yeah.
Because the movie's actually dealing a lot with the action movie backdrop. Like, if you take the exact plot of this movie about a daughter who's in trouble, he's got to go rescue his daughter. The movie actually, if you really examine it, it's got the the beats, but within the beats, it take like the way the scenes unfold.
I
and
never
the
knew the
direction
next scene.
exactly the way the direction goes, and a lot of times the scene might be set up where you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen here, but then it usually does not go the way you imagine. And then when there are action scenes, like okay, we're going to do like a rooftop chase, or we're going through the city, we're doing a car chase. The perspective it adopts in every single scene is so unique to this type of genre. That was the thing that surprised me the most about this being shot with IMAX cameras, is most movies that are shot with IMAX cameras use it to capture like scale and epicness and scope. And he decided to go, I'm going to shoot this whole movie to make it way more intimate and everything's so up close and handheld. It's like there's not this gloss to the use of the IMAX cameras. Even though the movie looks amazing, it's never used in a way that is like masturbatory, you know?
Yeah, when like 3D goes in instead of popping out and it immerses you in the film, he uses IMAX like that, where it enhances an experience. It doesn't like present itself as needing to be like bragging about IMAX. It's just such an experience to watch it in this format, which I think is such a strength of the film. Like I plan to see it again regularly to compare the two, but I think it's such a special IMAX time, and the performances, again, the movie stars in this film, this doesn't work unless everyone's A game because it's so big and in your face.
Benicio del Toro this is one of my favorite roles this guy's ever done. I love how comfortable in his own skin he is, and he's like a perfect opposite to how DiCaprio's mannerisms and whole demeanor go
Anxiety
about.
versus laid back. The waves, man.
And I love what Benicio del Toro and DiCaprio are both doing with their careers, because they're leaning into their age and they're not trying to like play something that they're not anymore. They lean into their weight, they lean into their age. Like the wrinkles they now have add character and depth to the characters they play. I love them so much in this movie. It's like I would love to see DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro team up again.
Yeah.
And the movie adopts like a very unique structure. Like it justifies its runtime very well, I would say. I'm like, when you're aware of a movie of this length, sometimes my brain is going, could they have trimmed this scene? Could they have cut this scene? But I kind of enjoyed the hell out of every single scene that was in it. So I don't even mind if something was like, yeah, we got that information already. It's a little bit repetitive, but I don't mind because it feels so like lived in. And that's the thing of this type of action movie. It's just looking at what would these people be like in an action political thriller like this?
And they need to hear that information, so I don't mind seeing that information from another perspective. So there are a couple moments, but I really wouldn't cut anything or much. And I was thinking, the movie has so many twists and turns. I was like, oh, it's got to end here. And then when it doesn't, I was happy.
Yeah, and like the beginning of the movie, that's when you really highlight the relationship between DiCaprio and what's that actress? Teyana Taylor.
And she is such a force, especially in the beginning, that you need to establish that relationship right at the top, or the movie doesn't work.
Yeah, she's amazing in the movie.
I don't know her.
She's not teased that much in the trailer, so I don't really want to give it away. And then the person who plays the daughter, I've never heard of this person either. Chase Infiniti.
Chase Infiniti, yeah.
She's one of those actors that I love so much because of the depth and that she can bring behind the eyes. Like she has these scenes where she's just going opposite DiCaprio and Sean Penn, where it's primarily just behind the eyes, and she gets this like fascinating character arc that I don't want to give away. But she is a hell of a performer. I'll just say it's such a long movie that I'm like, I don't want to like comment too much because the trailers don't give away that much.
The trailers actually don't give the plot away. Like when I've seen like moments of cameo. No, she would not appear in this video. She loved it. Look at the joy. But I think Chase Infiniti is going to be one of those actors that you see in a young role like this that you're like, oh, what was their first thing? Because they're going to grow one of those Oscar performances. You're like Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Where Haley Steinfeld came out in True Grit and everybody's like, what a performer, and then is only blown up more. This kid feels like she's going to be everywhere because she kept up with Benicio. She kept up with Leo. She acted around Sean Penn, who's playing at like an 11 here. I was really impressed that the supporting characters never felt shortchanged, whether they had one line or were, in 2 of the 2.5 hours. Like, it was so special.
She never felt like she was acting. Like, you need an actor like that to be going alongside with DiCaprio and Sean Penn. And the relationship between her and DiCaprio is vital to this experience. Like, it is the heart of the movie, and man, do you believe this dynamic so much.
And I want to praise the marketing. You mentioned it a second ago, but I went into this movie knowing literally nothing about what it was. I saw the outfit, I saw the phone and yelling, I saw a couple lines of dialogue at CinemaCon, but the marketing hasn't shown what this movie's even about. And I got to have a rare experience that felt like discovering like a 90s VHS tape at a cabin in the woods where I was like, what's this movie going to be?
Yeah.
And it felt like that kind of awesome throwback to when thrillers didn't need IP, when actors got to really flex for a long runtime. But that also was partly because of the marketing. The marketing doesn't tell you what your journey is going to be. So as best you can, I'd recommend watching it before you hear too much about it, because that made it special.
Yeah, I would agree with Coy on that. This is one of those, like, I really wonder if audiences will actually like it, because it's such a high Rotten Tomato score at the moment of watching this.
I think it's made for people that do Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly, because like the first 15 minutes I was like, wow, you know what? I don't really, this is an audience movie.
I looked around at the crowd so many times where I was like, okay, all right, and I laughed a lot, and I laughed throughout the film, but in the beginning when I'd laugh, I'd feel so bad. I'd feel so guilty I was laughing, and I'd be like, is anyone else with me?
This could also still be that kind of movie that does surprise in, like, oh no, audiences do love. I could see it going either way.
Yeah.
But hey, make up your own mind. Go watch this movie. Don't just listen to Coy and I. And honestly, the movie's so good that even if you don't see it on IMAX, it's absolutely worth watching still. I would full-heartedly say that. Some movies that are shot with IMAX cameras, like, yeah, you only really like it if it's shot with IMAX. This is one where I was like halfway through going, yeah, this movie's great even without getting the IMAX scope. But
I'm
if you can
excited
do
to see
that,
it
do
again
that.
regular,
Yeah.
but I would recommend it if you can find it.
Yeah, for sure. What would you give it at? What do you do? Stars, right? That's what you do. Star ratings.
I do Letterboxd, so I have that, out
Yeah.
of 5. I'd say 4.5 out of 5. If I was going to go out of 10, I'd say like 9.2. It's like a high up there.
Why is it not the what's the 0.8 there?
I do think that rewatchability is a factor for me, and a lot of my laughs were coming from a place of total darkness and brokenness, and I don't love feeling that way. I don't love feeling that we're so broken that I have to laugh to not cry, and I feel like there's a lot of commentary on things that make me upset. They are real. I feel like a lot of the reasons I enjoyed this was because it was fictionalizing a very non-fiction issue times 100. Like, there's so many issues in this film that I know are real, and a lot of the times I was laughing, it's because I felt like, oh God, that's all I can do. So I'm not going to put myself through this often. So that's the 0.8. And there's also a lot of things that I feel like people will misread, and it does embolden, people to feel extreme in one way or the other. And I think we need extremes, and I worry about the discourse from it. So I don't find myself rewatching movies that I know cause myself discourse and myself certain negative feelings. Even if it's a net positive, the movie's got a lot of darkness in it, so it just can't be a little higher.
Oh, fascinating. I know that knowing you as an individual, I understand why that would affect you. I don't respond to that way with this movie. I'm like, this is the kind of movie that I think will get better every time I watch it.
It makes me think of the world, Greg.
Yeah, I know.
And that makes me sad.
It does, but I'm like, wow, the way this movie's done is so well executed, and like, oh, these little details I didn't catch before,
I will be rewatching it, but I like In Bruges is my favorite comedy, and most people don't even consider that a comedy. And it's the same thing, where the darkness is why it's funny. But I've never been a hitman. Whereas, we deal with some of the things that are being addressed in this film by living in modern society.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like escapism.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know. I guess this is my new genre of film now.
Just dark Greg.
I love
dark political Greg.
Dark political action Western satires. That's
Your
my
Letterboxd category,
weirdly,
dark political Western satire.
I'm like, this is got to be like probably my second or third favorite movie of the year. I usually do like a 9 out of 10. I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I really love this movie.
It's in my top 5 of the year, and I've only given 26 films 5 stars, so 4.5 is insanely high.
Hell yeah.
Real good.
Guys, what are your thoughts? And I'm looking forward to the 20 people that watch this review. See you guys.
I'd like 19 of you to comment.